Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you all for joining today. I do hope that you'll consider sharing the love and engaging with the channel, checking out other messages. If this one doesn't turn out to be the one that you are resonating with the most, there are plenty of different informative videos here, mostly regarding shadow integration, chakra health, and dynamics between individuals and spiritual commitment and different energies and such. So if you're a returning viewer, which most of you are at this point, I especially thank you for staying with the channel during these early days. I appreciate you guys all so very much. So today I wanted to do so many different things. My energy is a little bit back and forth. There's a lot going on. We've talked about some astrology. Most of my readings, if you remember and have been here before, are intended as timeless. But before going live today, if you're watching this at the time of me first uploading this, this is, as of today, I believe we're August 5th of 2024. And so again, date is no matter, because whenever you find this, it's the right message for you. But again, as I was getting ready to sit down with these energies, I was thinking about yesterday was the new moon in Leo. And in a few days here, we have the Lionsgate portal, an annual cosmic event which aligns our solar system's sun with Sirius. And so in this alignment, the thing that comes most online for me is the choice point, the infinity symbol of the 8 that cycles, that come back around, choice points to act out of either fear or love, or awareness and consciousness, or ego. And we have all of these competing dualistic evidences of our process and of our perspectives, bumping up against all those other individuals that we come in contact with. And so before going live, I was in my own energy. I threw some cards out that I may share with you here in a moment. And then I went through and I started doing my meditation and channeling. And then it came back around to this element of timelines and the concept of convergence. And I thought, that was such a huge tagline that came up earlier this year. When was that? I went back, I scrolled in my videos, and I found that it was really coming up for a series of days over the time frame of Beltane. And if you don't know when that is, it's roughly around the 1st of May. And it's one of the stations on the wheel of the year, the 8 cycles. You've got equinox, you've got solstice, and then you have some other intermediate times that signify different. Let's take it even back. I do believe that the origins of the Wheel of the Year were the ones that we would probably broadly call pagans now, but the individuals that basically lived their livelihoods and their life in tandem with the energetic flow and timelines of the earth and the shift of seasons. And for any of you who live in a place that has multiple seasons, you understand the need to throw your seeds out at the appropriate time to get a harvest so that you can store food for the winter, type of an idea. And energetically speaking, we're always doing this. We are taking in the different situations and stimuli, and we're processing this through a series of motivations, beliefs, perspectives, ideals, passions, creative energy, and our self-concept. Very crucial way that the health of our personal identity and our connection to this experience that we're having is so interwoven with self-concept, because self-concept is like that inner structure, I'll call it, this idea of this is me, this individual, or this idea. And everything that comes into us for processing is a light code in some way, light or dark code, whatever you want to say. All of these different frequencies from all over the spectrum are hitting that structure, that crystalline structure of self, that is the more inclusive multidimensional aspects that includes our concepts of more than just this moment, but like ourself, and what does this mean about me on all of these different areas of life, and etc. If you can follow me there, the crystalline idea is like, I've got all of these ideas, and if this one thing is true that I have a hard time believing, then I have to modify all the other facets that go along with that, because that might be what we would think of as like a foundational level thought, where then on the technical brain side of things, it's like, if something is a foundational belief, let's say it's a core belief from your childhood, or you as a being that has become, there's some idea or baseline of human values, ethics, moral code, right? We've got these core ideas. And then if we have a thought or a belief or a challenge to that core belief, then it would require us to integrate and do a ton of work to restructure the neural network and mapping of our own brain. And many individuals can't process that. But the individuals tuning into this broadcast, I'm really sensing that you guys are immersed in this process as your own divine alchemist or your own multidimensional beings in some type of a way. You're working with these concepts in the world. And I sense that most of you, as unpleasant as it sometimes can be, on some level, you really embrace the growth and the capacity to hold charge. I'm hearing like your capacity to hold light, your light quotient capability increases with your ability to process things that alter your belief patterns. In this way, it's kind of like we are the shapeshifters of reality, because we have that flexibility, even if we have some types of rigidity, which everybody has something that uh, they get stuck with, right, in their processing makeup. That's what we're all kind of doing here. So yeah, before I get into the channeled words, why don't I go ahead? I'll share with you the cards that came out from this totem deck. I can't remember the name of it. They're all listed below. First one that came out is Snow Leopard, Self-Reliance. Ooh, at 808. You don't say. So it's not a lion, but we've got two cat energies, two canine energies, and deer here that I'm going to read real quick. So self-reliance, you're strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. So there's something you're doing on the down low, or whatever you want to call that. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. So it's like the people, yeah, I'm going to share the link to the video. I'm kind of jazzed up, and suddenly I'm not sure that I said that I went back to the time in the videos of Beltane. I think that that's where I stopped. Anyways, I loaded and viewed one of those videos, and there's some notes here from that. I'm going to link that video down below. You may choose to even stop here and view that one first, just so that you're on the same page. I noticed that in that video, I was very halting with my words. That I think that some of us have various chakra anomalies, blockages, something where we've been in situations that have challenged us. And for myself, for instance, particularly because I'm a Taurus, during my lifetime, one of the things that I'm challenged to work through and with is my personal self-expression. And when I have things that are out of alignment within my energy field, I sometimes struggle for words and to be expressed and to believe that I will be understood and well received. Now, in that video, I was speaking a little bit about some of those things. But here we are. The reason that video comes up is because whatever situation that you're facing and overcoming right now is linked to multiple stations throughout this year and beyond, but particularly cruxed around the Lionsgate portal. And so it came through the channeling I did with Saint Germain, where it's got a quite different background. It was something I did to share with some folks that I attend chapel with. And in any event, during that time, during that channeling, when the mediumship was open and the energies that were coming through were talking specifically about choice points around the Lionsgate portal. I'll also link that video below. Saint Germain. Because Saint Germain also came out in the other video that I'm going to link. So 2 links below. You may, maybe the Saint Germain one you could even watch afterwards. It has a lot to do with then refining our vibrational resonance and the reasons and the little methods there come through. But in the Saint Germain channeling, there was this message that not only is the Lionsgate portal this year in particular going to numerologically reduce to 888, that's like it's so much about cycles upon cycles and finally breaking through for many of us. I don't know if itchy nose is something any of you guys I think that's kind of like you're onto something in charades, like, oh yeah, you got it type thing. So anyways, there's this idea here that through the course of the stations on the Wheel of the Year, again, the previous video being the Beltane one at May 1st-ish, and then we've had previously in a video I had called out that then we've got this Mercury will be coming in retrograde and recrossing the path of Venus, representing the divine feminine within all of us and within the core of the world and so on, however you define it. However, there's definitely along the collective stage a lot of focus on women and recognizing women right now for obvious reasons. And I'll also kind of throw in there that in my country, there's a lot of individuals that will focus on the civil unrest here and the issues here. But if you look on the global stage, the world stage, there is civil unrest happening in many different places around the world. There are issues and power struggles, control struggles happening between those that are in power, those that have the bombs, and the people that are trying to live in these environments. And then one of the main things that I see being spoken about between the those that disagree is there's a bunch of information happening about humanity, who has rights, who has the right to be here versus there, and whether we're understanding having some type of awareness of the flipped script of their situation. And do we feel that that's our responsibility as humans in this earth to stop blaming the victim and start pointing the finger at the one that's dropping the bombs? And I think that that's really undercover what many of us are trying to call out. It's like, why do you guys keep having us fight against the other ones that are in the same situation as us, but it looks different? We've been convinced that some individuals don't have things because they don't want them or because they're bad people or something. And I think that sometimes these judgments, whether or not you identify with that one, or there may be something else coming through for you, or it's not a belief you hold or value you hold, that you witness in others. And there's all of these ideas coming through, not because it's an us versus them, and it's not because we're better than other people. It's to witness how tiny little ripples, the seed of the darkness in the yin yang symbol, and then the seed of the truth on the other side. It's the inversion with that 8. It's the cycles that repeat, which become duality. And on either side of the timeline, how we can kind of, the weights and measures that go into the scales of Libra, even because right now we have the South Node in Libra governing our relationships, and what we need to see about that and how we participate or perpetuate the dynamics in our life at work and play. And then the North Node of our destiny is in Aries, which is not about selfishness and taking and conquering like it has been practiced by certain individuals. It is a sign of sovereignty. And if we believe that we have the right and the freedom and deserve the liberated environment to be and to do and to act and to practice as we wish within, harm to none, perhaps as a golden rule. But it's about that granting and deserving nature of everybody else to be sovereign, but with harm to none. And so when we witness that, do we allow it? Can we tolerate it? Can we move beyond this moment? And what does it say about the choices that we're making? So this isn't to shame anybody, right? We're all doing, there's this Rising Appalachia song, Scale Down. If you can handle it, it's a really good one. It's about progressive change. Some of you, it might not be up your alley, but there's this part where she's like, when each one of us is doing something a little bit too fast, too hard, too wrong, something like that. And it's like we're something like trashing our own birthday cake. And it's kind of like that's the way that things have been mispracticed in the past. And there's a lot of passion that comes in, and then there's a lot of infighting and gaming and all this coming to the forefront. So that was Snow Leopard. And then we get Wolf is as the pathfinder, releasing your past, starting a new journey. You're a teacher. You help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. And I do think that this whole timeline right now is about unconditionality and how we do allow and release expectations for others so that we can be sovereign, so that they can be sovereign, so that there's nothing to fight about within reason. I'm not trying to speak onto any belief pattern, just in working it out with each other is really what I'm trying to say. If you needed me to turn up that volume on what I mean to say. Dear love, look at that gentle inner nature here. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love, not of controversy, conflict, duality, resentment. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. So what other people think is, sometimes none of our business, within reason, again. So underneath the deck here was Jaguar, Old Soul, but it flipped and it wanted to reveal Fox. So that being the second canine and second cat energy, Black Jaguar, Old Soul says, walk through life with confidence and grace. There's that word again at 1919. You have power from beyond this world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. Yeah, so put your focus and attention on what you want to build, not on what drives you nuts, right? Be a part of the change, be a part of the solution, not a part of the fight. Fighting for peace doesn't make sense, right? But sometimes you got to act. I know I contradict things here, but that's the duality that we're in. Fox, clever, so you know what to do, I'm sensing. You're swift and smart. Solutions to problems are easily found. Always listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. So there you go. So part of this is coming through as a re-questioning, reawakening of soul contracts, and then individuation from our old cycles. So between two individuals, we co-create a separate third energy between each other while we're connecting, even across distances. So here we have this concept that keeps coming through of 1 + 1 = 3. This energy is the birthing portal that's either, resonant energy, coherent, understood, harmonious, and constructive, as in building up frequency, or it may be distorted, it may be incoherent, discordant, not resonant, and it may be deconstructive. Now, both of us can be in that deconstructive energy, and between the two, there is a build up and momentum of deconstructive energies, and then the three are pushing for deconstructing of something. So that's a complex message, and you can unpack that one on your own, but we're moving forward in the 1-to-1 and the way that we engage our energies with anything. So this can be building up or breaking apart. So if the two are in opposing frequencies, the energy that is influencing our energy is deconstructive. We're focused on things that are not in harmony with our path. So this is trying to realign our frequency into what we're trying to build. And it's telling us that we have more momentum, more strength, and more power, and we will feel more faith joining our energy and the force therein, more gravity, more magnetism with our cause when we're building something that we believe in versus when we're bashing something that we don't believe in, right? It's not about missioning our beliefs. So both of these energies, all of these energies are useful in context, but such as, it's healthy for us to have that deconstructive energy and disagreement energy that helps us if we have some type of false belief, or if we need a devil's advocate type of opposing viewpoint to help us go through and move through the data and knowledge and feelings that it evokes in ourselves, and to then choose our own belief in structures and values moving forward. So it definitely, these discordant energies help us with awareness that others are not always 100% in alignment with each other. That one's not real complex to believe, right? And it should hopefully help us to develop compassion for those that are not where we're at. So here we have the need to then release expectations that others are obligated to act in the way that we believe, and thus the power and control dilemmas and dynamics. If there is harm to none, we must live and let live. We cannot police each other in that way any longer. I mean, I'm not trying to push anarchy, especially because there are so many throngs of people who would be absolutely unable on some level to self-govern, right? However, okay, moving on. I did see another video recently where they were talking about the 4 stages of relationship, moving from, simply observing somebody from a distance, they might not even know, to then some type of engagement, awareness, mutual connectivity there. And then the third level being something where there's some type of commitment energy or teamwork. Then we start having, well, if we're kind of having this level of commitment, if we're in business, I'm not going to go out and buy the other guy's stuff. I'm going to invest in my own product type thing. That would be an easy one, right? And in relationships, the same thing. And then the fourth level being that compatibility. Are you both all moving in a similar direction with your lives? And are you kind of on the same team? Are you both getting some type of fulfillment, some type of satisfaction? Are your objectives answered within that partnership or connection? Is there a sense of unity and belonging and connection? Or are there always evidenced friction and resentments and so on? So this has probably led to discussions. And again, the that Mercury re-encountering Venus that's coming in with the Lionsgate portal it'll be exact on August 7th of this year in its retrograde Mercury moving backwards over Venus's location in the sky. But it harkens back to June 17th, which was another portal with the solstice, June 20th, 17, 18, 19, and 20, then being this other portal here where we had some type of squared energy in communications, perhaps with partnerships, where there was either an ideal, something was glazed over, there was a delusional, magical thinking. It could be any number of things. It may simply be the honing and renegotiating of contract terms. Like if you get a new job, you get a new car and you want to take it back in and fix it up. It could be something quite mundane, but on the broader scale, most of us are dealing with intricate discussions with partnerships and soul contracts, to bring it full circle here, and questioning those situations and environments that we find ourselves in that are discordant, that are incomprehensible perhaps, and wanting a more constructive frequency that builds something that we want to co-create with others in our world. So there's a new awareness of our inner values, how we are aligned with those or not, and any intradependence that is available for us, or codependence that feels like win-lose, or one person always feeling like the runner and one the chaser type dynamics, if you want to break it to that level. And there's a need for, again, intradependence, where there are ease, like you don't have to ask somebody to do what I wrote here is basic and bare minimum. If there's an equitable, responsive, connected partnership here, whether it's in business, family, or intimate relating, family, whatever. So these levels of inequity and the urge to seek and maintain and to give and receive mutual respect and to hold what is sacred in your value estimation, these are choice points here. So this is where I made the awareness of this timeline convergence. I drew this at the top of the page. It looks a little weird probably here, but this intended in the middle to be like a needle. I was seeing the eye of the needle card, which shows a cosmic portal. And I was sensing how all of these multiplicity of timelines here, and, since there's no time, space, no before and after and such, this here is another group of people, perhaps the yin and the yang, the up and the down, the right and the wrong, whatever you want to call this. It's like individuals from the extremities towards the center to polarities here and there are being asked to pass through this birthing portal or convergence, where things become pressurized and squeezed by pressure and friction within our environment. Friction is also divine, and it helps when we think of the charcoal that gets squeezed and becomes a diamond, the dust and dirt and debris in the clam oyster that becomes the pearl. So this inequity is bringing us to this choice point to recognize how we are engaging energies that don't honor our own what we say that we want, and what we truly would align with in full consciousness. And here it's like we have to listen to the evidence and not be deceived. We have to question things in the right manner to get the answers that will help us to understand further questions or for discordant and coherent energies, to work out misunderstandings. And in that previous video at Beltane, I talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect, where there are different levels of consciousness. So here it's coming around to, I'm running out of time. I do apologize, people. This is going to be level 1. We'll do a Dharma 2, and I'll get a couple more cards on this. So when we're encountering individuals at this portal here with the Lion's Gate, we're witnessing and asked to allow and accept others to be and show up as they are, so that we are engaging our energies at the highest self level possible, the observer, the witness of energies, and to understand how we are and how others are presenting interference patterning with our pattern. That is the one and the one coming together. The interference pattern is either going to create a constructive waveform that goes out and makes its own waves, or it's going to cancel each other out. This came forward a few days ago as well. So there's this idea of, from the Tao Te Ching, that when we can be in this ability to tolerate and to witness and to stand back and continue to be in alignment in our center, this supersedes the law of human law and ego, and supersedes becoming the supreme virtue. So we'll stop this one here. We're going to talk just a little bit more about allowing, and then we're going to move into what does this mean going forward here, about the vessel and consciousness and recognition of where the course correction delivers us. There's something that's spinning us out into a new timeline as our vibrational broadcast dictates, putting us into the right order for the next chapter. But the truth is, we have the choice and the voice to choose where we come out at, by aligning with our vibration and taking quite seriously the interference patterns that have been tolerated in our life, and to hone that. So, all right, I do hope you all will choose to watch some of those other videos, as well as the Daily Dharma 2 from this date. I'll try to come back after I post this and link that one. That link doesn't exist at the time of this upload yet, so I'll have to edit it in. So take care of yourselves, and if this is where we part, until next time, take good care of yourself.